Okay, back to this. Back to this being over here. Oops, boy. Okay, there we go. I'm not trying to drop that. Okay. Okay, so that's set up. Okay, and then he's not mad. How can he be? Chapter 2. Chapter 3 is Zan's perspective. He's breaking down. Da da da. Shattered himself. He lets himself cry as you're. Okay. I swear I got that one already. OBS. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Chapter 3 is done. Woo! Okay. I'm not going crazy. Cool. Hey guys, my name is Loveless, and this time we're back with I'll Come Back to You, Chapter 4. So this one's going to be Rafayel's perspective. Let's get straight into it. I'll come back to you. Promise. Those words ring in Rafayel's ears as he kneels in the pool of his beloved's blood. He can't move. His hand still raised, dagger firmly in his fist from where you asked him so sincerely to cut out your heart. His initial confusion is long forgotten, replaced with self-loathing, so severe he sincerely considered using the blade on himself. There's movement around him, the hunter and the doctor, not even speaking to each other as they lift your unresponsive body carefully, gently as though you might break if they jostle you too much. Zane says something to Silas, not that Raphael's paying attention, before the pair disappears into the wind with you in their arms. Selfishly, he wanted to stop them, to rip your body from Zane's hold and cradle you close, to whisper declarations of love into your ears, as though his adoration might bring you back to him, as though his bond with you might stir your dying heart to hold on, as though his hands caressing your face might encourage your beautiful eyes to open, and your lips to pull into a smile that makes him weak. Raphael cries, not silently, not gracefully, not prettily. Not fitting the stories of Lumerian tears produce the most beautiful pearls, or the ancient songs their voices weave. Angrily, violent sobs consume his body. Your blood covers his hands as he falls forward, screaming into the sodden concrete that had been your deathbed. Something deeper than grief drives his hollowed cries. Not sorrow or heartbreak. Nothing as trivial as that. It's despair, anguish, torture that suffocates him, as though he's drowning, doomed by the unforgiving waves. Too many times he's done this. Too many times he's fallen in love with you, only for you to be ripped away from him. He should know better by now. He should know not to get involved, not to get attached. But every lifetime he can't help but be swept away by your beautiful eyes and contagious smile like the feather on a tide. Is destiny decided by the shining moon above? He shouldn't have come to the park today. All he wanted was inspiration. At least that's what he convinced himself. In his mind, he managed to believe that lie, that he was only here to look at the trees and water features that glimmered in the sunshine, as if it can give him a more artistic vision than the sea and the sunset outside the window, as if they can hold a candle to you. He knew this was your route home. You'd spoken about it before, how you like to walk through the park and feed the cats that sometimes congregated there. He had wrinkled his nose at the idea of you giving your attention to such heinous creatures. And yet, here he was, hoping to get a glimpse of you, hoping he can accost you on your birthday, to whisk you away to his home, or to dinner, under the pretense of being bored, when in reality, he was just wanting to spend time with you. He always wanted to spend time with you. When you're gone, he misses you. It doesn't matter if he's apart from you for weeks or mere hours. He longs for your company every moment. He can barely bring himself to sleep in his bed. Not when the space beside him would be perfect for your warmth. Not when he can almost feel your body in his arms from lifetimes ago. Yeah, your phantom heartbeat thrumming against his hands. And so he waited, sat on the bench, a black mask over the bottom half of his face that concealed his identity as he sketched aimlessly. Passerbys would likely assume he was doodling the trees, or the way the blue sky gradually became shades of pink and lilac with the setting sun. He wasn't. He drew your eyes in the form of flowers that surrounded the fountain and the fairy lights that flickered to life one by one as the day became night. He didn't need to be in front of you to capture your essence. Not really. He could see you in every part of his life. In the corner of this park, in every sunbeam and raindrop and twinkling star, you were always there. And then you were actually there, in the flesh. An easy smile on your lips, and linked arms with a tall, dark-haired man he recognized as your doctor. Not that he ever met the man, not officially, but he'd done his own research. He had to know who was looking after his beloved's heart. After all, as soon as you mentioned him months ago, he had observed from afar, and tapped away online to find as much information about the man as possible. He seemed like a kind man, a smart man, a good man. All the attributes that made Raphael's hatred for him worsen, especially when you were holding on to him for support as you giggled over hot coffee. Raphael's annoyance eased into curiosity, though, when he saw his anger reflected on a face of a different man in the park. A man that he's seen you with before. Xavier, your partner. A term which infuriated Raphael to no end. Not that he would ever admit it to you. Even when you fawned about how good he is on your hunter missions, praising the beam of light he conjures with his evol, Raphael would smile tightly and quickly steer the conversation away. He thought he was about to see Xavier fight the composed doctor. It certainly looked like he wanted to. If the way he watched you like a hawk as his knuckles turned white at the bouquet that he held was anything to go by. Raphael had wrinkled his nose. Flowers? For your birthday? Tacky. Even if he wished he was brave enough to bring you something so overtly romantic. Even if he wished he could be so bold without fear of scaring you away. He wanted to covet you, to cherish you, to prove to you that you were more precious than any amount of wealth or paintings or flowers. He should have, as his hand shakes with the weight of blood wetting them, as he kisses your life essence that stains his skin and smears his lips red. He wishes he would have been selfish. He wishes he would have given in to his desire to have you all to himself, to lock you up somewhere so he could protect you, so that you were free from the dangers to your fragile mortal life. He wished he could taste your skin, and not the metallic fluid that should have been flowing inside your veins, instead of soaking into the concrete. He wishes he could hear your voice instead of his own, broken as he weeps into his bloody palms. A large hand settles on his shoulder. In the back of his mind, he knows it's the leader of Only Kindness, who is offering silent comfort. He knows that he should want to push away, to hurt him, to scream at him for not doing enough. But how could he? How could he criticize when he too had failed? He is pulled upright, still knelt in the crimson puddle, and his face is pressed into an unfamiliar chest. It should be comforting, even if it was a criminal holding him. But the steady rhythm of Silas's heart only forces more tears from Raphael's eyes. He wanted to rip out that heart and stuff it into your body. He'd rip out his own if he still had it. But that too belongs to you. And cruelly, you had remembered that. You had remembered the heart he gave you. You remembered it all. Raphael is certain of it. He saw the spark of recognition in your exhausted eyes before mortality had dragged you into the dark once more. The body embracing him shakes, but Raphael can't hear the cries that overcome the man, not over his own sobs. And when your voice in his head, just as entrancing as the day he first met you centuries ago. Look after each other. He couldn't help but heed your requests. The concern you had expressed for him and the other men ringing clear despite your dying breaths. This was important to you. If he could do nothing else, he could honor your final wishes. So though his body doesn't want to leave this park, though he'd like to let himself wallow in your blood, he allows himself to be ushered into a car. He allows himself to be overcome by numbness as Silas silently drives. And he doesn't care where he's being taken to. He'd take being tortured for pearls over the pain that clamps his chest into a vice. It's not like he can go back home anyway. Not when every painting, every sketch, every sculpture is infused with you. He can't bear to be faced with such harrowing beauty. He cannot bear to live when you do not. His beloved, gone. Again. Okay, so now we are done with that chapter. Woo! It was so sad. It's just gonna keep on being sad for a period of time. This is like the gets worse before it gets better type thing, if you haven't noticed. So, if you want to see more of this, you know what to do.